Ambassador McFaul, a lot of pushback, a significant pushback from Democrats about the legality of that strike by President Biden. Democratic Senator Tim Kaine saying the people, American people, deserve an explanation of the legal authority. He doesn't see legal authority for this. We go through this discussion every time, and nothing seems to get resolved on the legal authority.
You're right. Nothing seems to get resolved. And for decades, by the way, Lawrence, this isn't just something new. The Congress wants the authority, but oftentimes they don't want to take the responsibility. I remember this very bitterly back in 2013 when President Obama was seeking their authority to do airstrikes in Syria, and then it didn't happen. In my opinion, this was the right decision to take. The Iranians need to know that we will protect our troops. They were in danger. And I think it was the right strike at the right time and proportionate to the threat that was at hand.
So on the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, what does the president accomplish in these conversations with Saudi Arabia? What does Saudi Arabia have to fear now, if anything, from the Biden administration?
Well, first, I think it's a real improvement over the Trump era. Let's be clear about that. We never talked about democracy and human rights at all during the Trump era with respect to Saudi Arabia. So I applaud that. I applaud the publication of the ODNI report, and I applaud the new list that Secretary Blinken lists, about 75 or so officials that will be on a visa ban list from Saudi Arabia because of this heinous murder that happened. But I hope it's not the last step. Because let's be clear, MBS, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, is not being punished here. They didn't even say his name. He was not sanctioned. And I think it sends a very weak signal if this is the last step that we see in this drama. They've promised us recalibration. That's the word they're using. We are looking to recalibrate our bilateral relationship with Saudi Arabia. I think that's good. I just hope it's comprehensive and not just this one-off that we had today.
It certainly is unlike any other public document that the United States has issued about Saudi Arabia. This is an indictment. It's in effect a criminal indictment. It says the Crown Prince has had absolute control over the kingdom's security. It's a very specific indictment of the Crown Prince, but there's that problem of they have the ability to indict, but what do they have the ability to do beyond the leveling the charge?
Well, they could do more. You know, they chose to do less. You're right. They have indicted him of a crime. And I really want to underscore a heinous crime, a horrible crime. Mr. Khashoggi was not trying to overthrow the regime. He wasn't storming palaces. He was a rather moderate critic. I knew him. We had conferences together with him when I here out at Stanford. And so it's clear as day what the crime was committed. It's clear as day who ordered it. I would say directed it. I would use a stronger verb. And they could do more. They could put MBS. They could put him on the visa ban list. That's a step they could take. They could move the people that they put on this new visa ban list onto the Magnitsky list. And then they could name them. And by the way, that would go a lot farther in terms of punishing them. By just doing it in this private way, that's a much smaller bar than putting them on the Magnitsky list. And then they could go farther. They could recalibrate the entire relationship. My own view is that we think we need Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia needs us. And I think we need to change fundamentally the balance of power in this relationship.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.